Huge news in the RLCS today as it's the offseason for region transfers. You're going to look back at the 2021-2022 offseason and region transfer. That's it. Furia is coming to NA. Now, before we talk about it a little bit more, I do want to start off by saying Oli is the third for Jorius and Archie, which is pretty sick. I think that team's going to do really well. Oli, for me, was the standout on Solary, and pairing him up with Archie and Jorius, those three are very mechanically inclined and should do really well. Now, to talk about the Furia... Oh, wait. There was another cross-region transfer. Kami, Realize, and Virtuoso are teaming up and are going to play in APAC North. Mind-blowing. Kami left Renegades yesterday. Virtuoso has been LFT, whatever. Realize moves on from the Senbei Strikers of Sigms and Tenau. Teaming up with Kami and Virtuoso, and that team, in my opinion, that team should dominate APAC North. Now, to get to Furia. Furia, you guys know him, you guys love him. Bora Furia, Yanks, Card, and Kaio coming to NA. What does this mean? Well, we saw another SAM team move from South America to North America last season. Complexity, a team that was better than Furia in RLCSX, but that was when they were playing with Tander instead of Yan, and, well, we can tell how that's gone for Tander and Yan, because, you know, Furia's at the top. And, you know, this cross-region transfer happened. True Neutral moves Shad, AJG, and Razebull to NA. They become Complexity, and they, you know, make the fall major. They're a top 5 team in NA. Obviously, we know that there was the tiebreaker, which was sick, by the way. Crazy good series. And they knocked off Space Station. Now we go to winter, and they do not do nearly as well as they did in the fall. They take a top 8 at the fall major, and then took a little bit too much time in between the splits and not grinding enough. And they've said this themselves, that they took too much time off. And it showed. They finished 7th. 220 points behind Space Station. So a pretty steep gap. Version 1 improved by picking up Beast Mode, and Daniel go to Space Station. So the level of competition ramped up in North America, and then the same thing in the Spring Split. Like, well, how are they going to do? Well, Optic with Drees, Illusion, and Mist stepped up big time, whereas Complexity, they moved up a little bit. They bested NRG, but still not enough. So there's still question marks around Complexity, and we know the rumor that's likely to happen, CRR coming over, Shad out. I think that improves Complexity, but where does that put Furia if we're thinking about this in the grand scheme of things? Furia took a top 4, G2 was top 2, FaZe took a top 4, NRG took a top 8, version 1 took a top 8, Space Station took a top 12. If Furia takes a top 4, I'm putting them right behind FaZe Clan right here, if I'm being honest with you, in terms of where they could be in NA rankings. And Complexity with CRR, I could see them moving up. Space Station getting LJ, in my head, that's kind of an upgrade. But with the level of competition continuing to grow in North American Rocket League, where does that leave a lot of these teams? Version 1 didn't make a change, but are they going to continue to grow, or will we see that level of competition catch up to them? What's going on with the players from Optic? Mist, we know, is probably going to FaZe Clan, but where does that leave AJ? Where does that leave Drees? Where's Reddle's going to go? Are Appjack and Nolly still coming over to NA? There's so many cross-region transfers, and I get that why Furia would want to come over, because the prize pool, the level of competition, but this also, to me, feels like it's leaving SAM a bit slighted, because now what teams are going to compete out of SAM? Like, are they going to be as competitive as they were this previous season? Probably not. And that just makes me question kind of like how Rocket League is going to navigate cross-region transfers and teams and players moving around, like Kami, Virtuoso going to APAC North and likely dominating, whereas in their own respective regions, like Kami was on the top OCE team, and Virtuoso was kind of making regionals. But that begs the question of, like, how do you navigate all that? I will say Jorby said it best about comparing Complexity to Furia, and he's saying it's not, because Furia is coming over having proved that they're one of the best teams in the world, and that's kind of what I was getting at with the rankings and where they'd be, right behind FaZe Clan, in my opinion, right now. Seeing how North American Rocket League is going to shape up, it's going to be a wild time. And how do you think Furia is going to fare in North America? What rank would you give them in the preseason polls, essentially? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.